Welcome to Dad's Slightly Warped Bedtime Stories, where I share with you the very same stories I tell my own kids. The stories I tell are just fun for the sake of being fun. So as I tell my own kids, get yourself settled down, turn off your voices, and listen to this. Well, once upon a time, up in Santa's workshop, this was a long time ago, way before the song Jingle Bells and way before Deck the Halls. Back then, there was no computers. Most things were made out of wood or leather or rocks or iron, stuff like that. So up in Santa's workshop, there was all these elves, of course, working, making all kinds of presents. And most of them were very, very good. They were good at what they did.
Yeah, quick.
Good craftsmen, yep. They knew how to work with tools. And they worked fast and they worked well. And they made lots of nice toys for kids to play with. But every once in a while, there's an elf that doesn't do a very good job. This time, there was a couple elves that weren't very good. One of them, his name was Dismal. And he was very depressed. He was, I have to go to the shop again today. It's going to be awful. I just don't want to do it. So when you'd go there, all of his toys would be painted kind of somber colors like blue or black or gray. And the other elves would be like, hey, why don't you paint it nice happy colors? Pink, purple, green, bright blue. I don't feel happy. I want to paint it the way I feel, which is not very happy. Why aren't you happy, Dismal? Because my name is Dismal. Oh, okay. Then there was another elf who was not very good at his job either. And his name was Steve. He was just kind of up to no good. He pulled nasty tricks, and he was not a very nice elf. He was kind of mean to the other elves and played tricks on them. And when he made toys, he made them kind of pokey and sharp. And he put hard edges on them. And for some reason, he would make things that were kind of dangerous. They would look sweet and innocent, but when the kids get home, they'd wind it up, and out would come a whole bunch of sharp, jagged metal. And most of the time, they would go through Santa's quality control. And Santa would look at them and test them out, or some other highly qualified elf would look at them and test them out. And every once in a while, because they had to put their name on it, whoever built it would put their name on it. And they would say, okay, bring in Steve again. So he would be brought before Santa, and Santa would say, oh, why did you make this toy, Steve? Look at this. I wind it up. I want to kill you. And it's slice. That's not a happy toy, Steve. But I'm not a very nice elf, Santa. Oh, but Steve, we gave you the plans for a nice happy toy. Why don't you make a nice happy toy? Why don't you go back and try this one again, okay, Steve? All right, then, Santa. Let me get back to my tools. So he went back to the assembly line. And about an hour later, Santa got word of another bad toy. So he brought the elf in responsible for the toy, and it was Dismal. Dismal, look at this toy. You're supposed to wind it up and it plays a happy song. Now look what happens when I wind up this toy, Dismal. All I want for Christmas is pain and punishment and dark clouds and dreary somber things. I'm so sad for Christmas, it hurts my heart to death. Now, does that sound happy, Dismal? No, it doesn't sound happy at all, Santa. Then why did you make it like that? 'Cause I'm not a very happy elf, Santa. But we gave you plans for a happy song. Why don't you go back and try it again? Okay, Santa. So he went back to the assembly line too. And next thing you know, Steve is working on the assembly line. And the elf working next to him, saying, I don't like that laugh. Usually when you make that laugh, something bad's going to happen. No, not this time. I'm just working on a nice, friendly, safe toy for children. It's going to be so good. Oh, I don't trust you. Trust me, said Steve. I will let you try to play with it first. Oh, okay. But I'm a little afraid of your toys. Sometimes they have scary, hollow eyes, and they have knives that come out, and they chase me for weeks. Steve, I don't like being chased by creepy toys. Oh, this one will be much better. I promise you. Give me just another hour, and I'll show you. Okay. Clink, clink, clink. He's working and working and working. Well, about an hour later, he's done. He wraps it up in a nice present with a ribbon on it and nice paper and hands it to the other elf. Here you go, Happy. Try this toy. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay. So he unties the ribbon and undoes all the wrapping paper, unwraps the present, and opens it up, and it looks like a nice little wooden cart, like a little buggy that a horse would pull, a stagecoach or something like that. Oh, this looks nice. He pushes it forward a little bit. Wiki, 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 wiki. Wiki, 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 wiki. Oh, it rolls pretty good. Maybe it's a little bit squeaky, but we can fix that up. We get a little bit of oil. Squirts a little bit of oil on the axles. Oh, that's better. Yeah, let's open up the little door and see what's inside the stagecoach. He opens it up, and this little person jumps out. It's like wearing a black cloak and has a mask. It jumps out and goes, ah! And it like pulls a little knife out of his sheath and under his coat. And he's like, this is a scary toy. Scary toy. I don't know if I like this toy, Steve. Oh, just wait. Wait till you wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. Okay. He winds up the toy and starts rolling around. It's like doing a slow circle around Happy. And it's playing this music. And the whole time the little man is like waving his swords and his little knife, circling him around and around. He says, I don't think I like this. This is making me a little unsettled, Steve. I think maybe it's going to attack me or something. No. It'll be fine. Just watch. Wait till it comes to the end of the song. And it stops. And suddenly the little man comes out of the stagecoach and starts walking. And then 3 more come out of the stagecoach. Little baby ones with knives. Suddenly has a whole bunch of little people walking towards him wearing black and wielding knives. So, Santa! He runs off out of the workshop. He goes to find Santa. And then Steve is like, what's the matter? They're just coming to play with you. And Happy runs off.
They got knives.
But they had knives. That's not very pleasant, is it? Pretty soon Santa gets word, pulls him into the office again. Now, look at this toy that you made, Steve. From the outside, it seems okay. Nice little stagecoach. Wind it up, goes in a circle. Little man come out. But what's with the knives again, Steve? And the music is like really creepy. It's horrible. It makes it seem like something bad's going to happen, Steve. But it's just all in your imagination. It's all fine. Those aren't knives. They're scalpels. Why, they're surgeons. They're here to help you. They're doctors, Santa, doctors. But, Steve, little children don't want surgeons sleeping out of a stagecoach, Adam. That seems just a little weird.
Oh, well, maybe you just don't understand my sense of humor.
No, I guess I don't. And here, you know what? I'm going to give you another chance. We're very forgiving up here at the North Pole. How about you try to make this simple ball, Steve? Look, it's round and wood and painted red. Do you think you can do that, Steve?
Yes, I have an excellent idea. Okay, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to make a nice little red ball.
Can you do that, Steve? Okay, see you in a couple hours.
Hopefully not with knives. So he goes off, he goes back to his tools, and he's working on a lathe. He's like carving out a ball from a block of wood. He's making a nice ball, and one of the other head elves comes over. That's looking good, Steve. Good work. Nice chisel control. Very good. Following the pattern. Nice and round. Thank you. It's going to be wonderful. So then he takes it off to another station and starts working on it with a drill. And then he runs it through a bandsaw for some reason. And then he goes over to the glue up area. And then he takes it to some other place. He starts adding things to it. And then he paints it and presents it to the head elf. The head elf looks at it. This looks very nice, Steve. I think you've actually done a very good job. This is a good, high-quality wooden ball. And it's a nice shade of red. I like that red. Well, I think, why don't we take it to Santa and see what he thinks? So the head elf takes it up to Santa. And Santa looks at it and spends some time with it. But then, about 10 minutes later, Santa calls up Steve and back into his office. The head elf comes out. Santa wants to see you, Steve. Go on up and see what he has to say. Okay, I'll be right up there. So he goes up to the office. So Santa calls him in.
Come on in here, Steve. Now, hi, this looks like a nice little ball. I've looked at it. It feels good, like a nice high-quality item. Made out of wood, painted red, which is what I asked for. You did a very good job. But there's more to it than that, isn't there, Steve? He looks over his glasses at Steve.
Steve says, yeah, I put a little finesse into it.
Steve, I didn't ask for any finesse. Usually when you put in finesse, it's something kind of scary and dangerous, quite frankly.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that ball. Kids could play with it for a long time.
Oh, sure they could. Now, look what I noticed, though. Over here on the very top of it, it looks like a little round circle. What happens when you push on that, Steve?
You know. Did you push it?
I sure did, Steve.
Well, what did you think?
Well, I wasn't very pleased, Steve. Shall I push the button, Steve?
And Steve started backing up a little bit.
Hey, come over here and you push the button, Steve.
Oh, well, I want to see you do it, Santa.
I've already done it, Steve. Now you come and push this button.
He goes over slowly to the ball. He picks it up. He holds it up next to him. And he's holding it out at arm's length. He's reaching out with his other hand to push it, to push the button. And Santa says, no,
that's too far away, Steve, and you know. You need to hold it close like a child would. A happy child who just opened it up for Christmas and is ready to play with his nice new ball.
Oh,
Steve.
oh,
Steve.
Stephen Lance Bartholomew, you will hold that ball and push it with your finger. Okay. So he holds it up nice and close, squints his eyes, and pushes the button. And the thing splits open into like 8 little petals. The thing opens up from the top, and this music plays, and it's a beautiful song, like opera or something, really classical and nice. And on the inside, there's a little ballerina, starts spinning around and doing pirouettes, and very graceful lights come on, and there's jewels that twinkle, and Santa looks at it and he smiles. You did a good job, Steve. Yes, I did. It's horrible, isn't it? It's awful. I can't stand to look at it, Santa. Why did you make me push the button? It says, well, I think it's beautiful. I know. You just don't understand me, Santa. I think this is horrible. I did exactly what you wanted, and I think it's tragic. It's beautiful. The song is nice. There's no damage being inflicted, no pain or danger. No fear, Santa. Where's the fear? Well, this is a toy factory, Steve. There shouldn't be fear and danger and pain. Steve says, well, you're right. I think maybe I'm just not cut out to make toys. Oh, I disagree, Steve. This is a finely crafted toy. Steve finally realizes, well, if he puts his mind to it, he can make really finely crafted, fun toys. And Santa just needs to give him more complicated chores. Needs to give him a real challenge. And so Steve finally found his niche up there at Santa's workshop. And you know what? Dismal, all he needed was a little bit of coffee. And he was perked up and happy, painted everything pink and yellow and green. And he just danced around and said, oh, Santa, isn't it a wonderful day at the North Pole? Yes, it is, Dismal. Oh, isn't it just wonderful to be alive? Look at this ball I made. It's so soft. It's very soft. I like it, Dismal. Why aren't you happy then? I'm happy. You've been keeping me up for 48 hours straight. Tell me how wonderful things are. I can't wait for that coffee to wear off. Oh, Santa, I love you. I love you too, Dismal. The end.
Thank you for listening to Steve and Dismal, the Different Christmas Elves. Now, please go listen to some of my other stories.